Hello and welcome everyone. It's a bit of a tired day today. A bit of a just a bit of a rough day, honestly. We've been awake way too long. But I guess we're gonna do some shooty bang bang today, as said yesterday, because new shit has come out in one of the two Pew Pew Bang Bang games I'm playing right now. Actually unsure if I will drop the third one, so yeah. Not that much interest in playing it right now. But yeah, one of those two I'm playing is, well, Delta Force that released like 2 months ago. Last year that was. I didn't expect to play that much in the end, but I'd say that some games it does some things right. But also not really outstanding. It's a lot of, let's just say, it just straight up rips from a lot of games. And ironically, with this new season, which isn't really new because, as you can see, I'm just going this way, it says Season 3. What happened there? Last time I streamed, it was still the pre-season. How did we jump 3 ahead? The answer is, this game is out in China for like over a year. They've already been through 3 seasons. The only thing is basically the international release is now catching up with the Chinese version. This is why, let's just put it like this. The storyline gets just dropped onto everyone as, nope, this is a thing. And you're like, okay. And I think there's 2 maps. There's like new building variants and stuff. It's good content, but it's ironically also not that much content. Weirdly enough. But yeah. Let's go over some things. What is basically new? There's a new operator. Basically, we'll might unlock it to him today, and it's a grapple hook and shield combo. You can pull people towards you, and you have a shield. That's gonna be nasty. That's all I'm gonna say. What else? So there's a new submachine gun. We're probably gonna see if we can get that one. Otherwise, the gun selection per class is still pretty good. It's, as usual, it's not, one category is there. It's more like certain guns just work in for one type of operator. Like, they now patched in that the Scout class can also use the AUG and SCAR, which was only on the it was only on the support, not support. I got engineer before, so it's small things they added, a bit of rebalancing. There's some visual updates because let's just be real here. This game has some weird problems in actually conveying how its mechanics work, but I think this is one of the parts I kind of wanted to talk about earlier, because, like, I have not paid a single bit for this game, and for a free-to-play game, it is very generous. Like, surprisingly generous is what I'm saying. Aside from the fact that, again, big gun selection out of the gate, you can actually do a lot of stuff with the guns. Like, that's the kind of shit, free-to-play games earlier, where like, oh, you want new stuff for your gun? You gotta pay up, asshole. New guns, that's more money. No, this is like, in terms of, content and quality, this is beating out a lot of pay-to-play titles out there. So that's neat. Next thing, they kind of have, I know this is probably is a word that it's kind of describing it correctly, but no, it's souring people. They basically have a loot box system, but it's you can't buy them. So from what I see, it literally is just one. You get them by playing. So that's that. And also there is a lot of stuff you can get through basically events, as you can see. Yeah, and by the way, we get to those because I'm surprised with how that turned out. First of all, if you play Delta Force and you have some of them stocked up, use them before season ends because they will reset, as you can see, they will reset on the season end. So I have 88 days to just use them. So they go away. They're like literally use them, please. How do you use them? Let me check really quickly. It was not here. There we go. So what is this? This is basically a gacha system. Interestingly, now I understand a bit more how it works because they basically like, again, I think you have to put in like 75 tickets for a main reward. You see the prize pool here. Main rewards, other rewards. The one with the yellow sign you can only get once. And everything from the preseason is also in here, so they're not going away. It's just more scattered towards. Also, the main rewards can also drop normally. It's just you hand in more tickets, you just get more stuff. So, I really was like, is this a thing with FOMO? No, it's just the pool just gets bigger, I guess. Still, that's a lot of free content for a free-to-play game that is just not going away, so neat, I'd say. And yeah, the rest is more like, yeah, you there's a lot of stuff you play, but yeah, they're doing this under like, oh, it's event stuff, but like, I don't know how to say it in the best way. It's just an interesting system because probably one of the reasons I kept playing is there was just always kind of stuff to do. They were like, hey, you want some rewards by playing this weapon? And like, okay. Like for right now, it's kill people with the K-15. Easy. It's unlock a new gun. Get some new, attachments. What do we have here? You get like a typical like login bonus. There's some stuff in there that's like, yeah, a bit of fun, but like overall, I would say surprising amount of free stuff, So yeah, time to basically jump in and try to get some stuff done. I think for the new one, I need to kill 15 with a submachine gun, but why not? That's gonna be easy. Oh yeah, also there is a battle pass, obviously, with the typical some stuff is free, like the new operator, and yeah, we all know that. So, a rotation for only the new map. How perfect, actually.
What's wrong? you and the strength behind you. You must think I've been swayed by Zoya. But when faced with collapsed dams and surging floods, the confusion and anger in my heart are the same as yours. This was once the
Reinforcements are here. Advance and secure the objectives.
Let's get a little bit of the classics out.
Roger that.
Oh, so you now do 6. Aha. Fuck. So.
Allied troops engaging at objective Bravo 1.
Damn it. I need to focus a bit more. I just wanted to show what they added because as I said before, this game steals a lot. And it steals, ironically, a lot from Battlefield 5. There we go. This is, I would say, you know, not intrinsically the worst idea. I think. Oh, fuck. Yeah, no, I'm dead. Huh.
Be careful to stay in the battlefield.
Well.
Roger that. Artillery barrage incoming. We've lost half our reinforcements. Speed up the attack.
I mean, the main mode is breakthrough, basically from Battlefield 1/5. It's, you know, honestly, I feel like ironically the game works best playing it. I generally think breakthrough is to a degree better than Conquest, but I didn't mind Conquest in Battlefield. Here, Conquest feels off. Obviously, it came from behind.
Objective Bravo 1 cleared. Stay frosty.
Where do we have some stuff to build? Because, yeah, the new feature is they literally copied the fortification system of Battlefield 5.
We have taken objective
Now,
Bravo 1.
I would definitely question should it be. Why would you do that? Because, I mean, maybe this is easier to do in this engine, and how they set it up. There's definitely less destruction. So, you know, I think the fortification system is not the hardest to implement. Meanwhile, oh, by the way, it just looks the same. Like, it's not wooden planks, it's just, you know, a metal one, but it actually just looks the same. I'm a bit baffled. Yeah, as you can see, even the icons are very much the same. Okay. Can't build. But this was a big feature in, like, Battlefield 5, if you remember. You were able to, you know, you could just build sandbag walls and, you know, dig trenches. There was a lot of stuff you could do, you know, rebuild bridges. Interestingly, I think, right now, it is like the biggest extent in Delta Force is build sandbag walls, and even then, apparently I can't just do that. Which makes me question what is going on, but we will find out with time. First of all, let's just keep playing a bit. the other hand, one thing I will always say, you know, steal well, that's basically half the work done. Just steal well. You can't. And I think this is kind of sums up a lot why I, you know, probably kept playing Delta Force right now, because is the game bad? No. It steals some goods, some just, you know, I guess that exists parts. You know, the gameplay, you know, guns and such are basically directly from Modern Warfare 2, so the new one. And how they handle, which is, I guess, you can do that. Also, I just realized I haven't looked into...
We've sustained heavy losses, but we must push forward. Roger
Let's
that.
do it like that.
Artillery barrage incoming.
Because I also added a dolphin dive.
This objective can make or break
Which-
the battle. Take it down.
I mean, again, surprisingly, a lot how older games work, it's slower, and I don't dislike that.
Objective Bravo 2 clear. Give them no room to breathe. Objective Bravo 2 secure. Beware of enemy attack. Allied troops launching an assault on Objective Bravo 1. Come to support. Roger that. Artillery barrage incoming. Allied troops launching an assault on Objective Bravo 1. Come to support. Neutralize Objective Bravo 1. Prepare for the enemy counter. We have taken control of a critical objective. Press the attack. Objective Bravo captured. Eliminate remaining enemy forces.
Artillery barrage ready.
I'm just wondering why it's not working, but yeah. I mean, crucially, I would say
Keep them out.
I don't have a problem with, you know, again, stealing mechanics, because I think the fortification mechanic was one of the most interesting parts about Battlefield 5. I wonder if it's similar that only some fortifications can be built by, you know, the engineer class, and if they generally do it faster. But yeah, no, I'm not against that. It's just I have to see what the extent of the system is in this title, because again in 5 they did a lot with that. Like, I think this is probably the one part where I can say I don't know if this game surely will ever make it out of the shadow of the series it tries to compare to. And we will actually see that pretty well on Tuesday, because it's gonna be an update for that for Battlefield as well there, and it's gonna be quite a big one for, you know, end of life.
Beacon ready to deploy.
Because good, you know, steal a good mechanic, fine. Not do much with a good mechanic, you kinda missed the point. Because when I tell about the fortification system, I think about the fact that
We're going to win this.
there were on the map Arras, which was the launch map where it came with. There was an area which was just a big, you know, yellow open field, and there was a flag there. There was like one tank wreckage. You would think that's a death trap. It's just open. It's a gigantic open ass field. But here the system came back in, and suddenly you could transform that whole open area into a trench network and put walls up and have MG emplacements and just so much. It was a complete transformative experience. Now, not all maps had that. Not all map areas had that. But they kind of made sure that this, that system was used. And also, when you realized where you could use it a lot, that it really had a big impact. Here it feels, oh hey, you can build a bit more sandbag walls that can be destroyed. And like, that's simple, that's good, that works. It doesn't feel like much. I think this is the weirdest part to say about Delta Force, that it kinda does, it steals a lot and only does the bare minimum with what it steals. You know, aside from the gun customization, but like,
Artillery barrage ready.
that's, I feel like, the only feature where they really put in more work on their own. Nope. I don't know what is beeping here, by the way.
Objective Charlie 1 is under attack.
Yeah.
Capture the last sector. We're going to win this.
But then again, there's a reason that system was also scrapped, because it doesn't surprise me that this is probably the simplest version you could implement, because
The enemy has taken over objective Charlie.
let's just be real here. If you make a map for a Battlefield style game, you will take time doing that.
Strategic beacon ready to deploy.
By design, period. It's a big map. You need to stretch sectors, you need to make good layouts, you need to test a bunch of, like, at least 2 modes. It's hard. Making a good one is hard. And there's a reason, if you then think on top of that, oh hey, this map now also has to, have basically a whole set of scripts for building things on them that sometimes replace existing structures when those are destroyed. Yeah, like, That's hard, and there's a reason why there were not a lot of maps from Battlefield, making maps of Battlefield 5 took long. And also,
Strategic beacon ready.
they didn't port any of them really to, 2042. Like, the whole system being scrapped in 2042 is kind of just just kind of shows how they were like, yeah, maybe not. And frankly, to a degree, 2042 flows still really well because their replacement is one character, or I would say they should have just made it a class ability. One class, which is probably what they will do going forward, can just slam down a wall.
Artillery barrage ready.
And they literally called it fortification system. And I hate to say it, that kinda works better. It just, from a general standpoint, you have way less, points of interactions that can just fail. You don't need to work out that the scripts are not working. It's just a better system in that regard, and it doesn't have a lot of downsides. And you can port the maps better, and you can. It's just better.
Beacon ready to
Period.
deploy.
So I'm surprised they're copying, the Battlefield 5 system in a very simple way. We will probably jump into the normal map rotation afterwards to see where it is on other maps. But I doubt we will see big trench networks. It probably will amount to here's more stuff, a bit more, a bit more cover, a turret. That's it.
Strategic beacon
Enjoy.
ready to deploy.
Roger that. Artillery barrage incoming. They've nowhere else to run. Final push. Victory is tough. They can't hold much longer.
Artillery
So yeah,
barrage ready.
ironically, this is kind of the closest we have to a modern Battlefield 5 right now.
One objective left. We're almost there.
And just straight up losing that round. Great. Opening up perfectly. Yeah. I don't know.
Smoke screen incoming.
This is the weirdest part talking about this game. Here's a system just straight up taken from another game. That is a good system on paper. And in execution is fine. But then the execution is also
Fall back.
everything it needed to be, but nothing it could be, at least from what I am seeing right now. It's sandbags, it's a turret. Maybe we will see trenches. I don't think we will see a lot of extensive stuff. Let's do some stuff here. There's some things to change up. Yeah. Let's make some cursed guns. That's right. Oh yeah, 50 shot drum mag. Gimme. Always nice. And I think I can actually do the not yet. Oh yeah, enjoy this pink M14. It looks great, doesn't it? Nothing I think I could do right now. There we go. And obviously, oh shit, now. I tried to build fortification, that didn't work. And we're almost done. Perfect. Just a bit more score. Cool. Let's take a tour on the older maps and yeah, probably won't get to the new operator this time. Maybe next time I will show it off then. Haven't seen him around a lot though. But I think that is one of those parts when you when I look at this game stealing from basically so many Battlefield titles of the past, it's interesting to think about that Battlefield itself moved onwards as a series and is actually moving onwards still right now. Because the interesting part is that we are looking at okay, 2042 is currently in an interesting spot. Basically, what they announced with the current update is just confirming one suspicion a lot of people had. And that is, they're testing a lot of new shit for the next title. They're gonna test that title soon also, but they're also testing a lot of stuff right now in 2042. And yeah, it's interesting to see that they're probably gonna move away from you know, the specialist system, because Halloween event, oh hey, the hardcore mode had classes basically in them. Okay.
in our defenses. Our intel tells us that GTI plan to take advantage of this and launch an attack. In the wake
Then you
of
had
disaster, they
the,
cannot resist fanning the flames of conflict.
you know, have the new
Fall in
vehicles.
and take down
And it's also
any
an interesting
GTI
part
forces
because
you see. Fortify our
what
defenses
happened
at
is
all
that,
weak points. Beware of
yeah,
paratroopers from
those are all
above.
the vehicles, by the
Show
way.
them no mercy. Drown them in the
You
sea
have
if you must.
one tank, one assault helicopter, one recon helicopter. It's basically, and oh hey, the same chassis, just, you know, is it, and the LAV, or it's very generic stuff, and it's just, you know, basically one faction.
Protect your sectors and hold your ground.
And
Then shoot them hard and fast.
but I will admit, you know, 2042 hasn't really done the best in terms of doing faction-specific vehicle updates. They basically have done them a lot of times now.
Repair the radar and detonate the wreckage in the air to avoid causing greater damage on the ground.
They're doing it now again. Which is quite interesting, actually. Oh.
Enemy has taken objective Alpha.
Because we go. Wow.
The enemy is attacking objective Alpha.
Oh. God damn it, even the animation is the same. It's just the same as Battlefield 5. What the fuck? I am in awe. But yeah, and even then it's just the sandbags.
Objective Alpha lost. The enemy has taken control of Sector Alpha. Stop them from taking this sector at all costs. Get back to this critical objective. The radar has been repaired and is about to start targeting debris.
Wait, what? That's new.
Enemy troops are attacking objective Bravo 1.
So yeah, it's a weird mixture. But just looking at some stuff and being like, okay, they just have one type of vehicle. It's kind of weird that this is the bare minimum game. And let me put it like this: this is kind of the best bare minimum game I kind of have played in a long time. There were games with bigger flaws in that regard, but more unique ideas, I would say. Where people were like, oh, this is gonna, kill the Battlefield series this time for sure. And frankly, Delta Force isn't going to be that game either. Not in the slightest. Simply, how the fuck do you make an update that is basically, okay, our whole player base is catching up to 3 seasons of content, and we're going to add a whole system that is, at least to a big degree, changing how the game is played. Fair point. Like, again, I think there's a worthwhile part about talking in expansions about, what is extending the game and what is expanding the game. Because, as I keep saying, extensions is more stuff. Expansions is changing how you play the game. And frankly, some stuff is there's an overlap, some does change more, some does change less. Sometimes one small change can have gigantic impacts. And sometimes the biggest additions can just amount to there's simply more. So for example, right now I would say, more guns is it's an extension. A new specialist that brings, a whole lot of, basically area denial and control into the game. Yeah, well, you know what, that is to a degree just one more specialist, but also it is kind of also an expansion of the gameplay system, because now you can now you can impact more how, for example, the infantry gameplay is played. This isn't bad, this is good. Also, building sandbags. Yes, it is the most simplest addition, but you can still build cover where there was no cover beforehand. This is good. I don't know if the placements where they put it feel like the best right now, but that's that, Again, I didn't expect them to make the biggest commitment to the system. This is definitely more like we're just taking the sandbag part, because you can very easily slap down some sandbag models, and with the right.
The enemy has suffered minimal losses.
With the right script, no big interference, especially if you see that the rest of the level is very, very static. It's not, oh hey, you can now dig like a hole and cover in that hole and take refuge from line of sights. That's not in there right now, I think. So that's good, But it's also not much. Like, it's good things, it changes to a degree how you play certain things. But yeah, not that much.
Allied forces are engaging at objective Bravo 1.
But yeah, then the next, but in comparison, the next update from Battlefield 2042 is, you know, here are two new tanks, you know, IVs. First of all, they're doing faction differences again. That's cool. They had that, Season 1 had stealth helicopters. They had two variants. So, you know, pretty cool. But these one are actually special because the Bradley and the PMP, as they said in the update notes specifically, they updated them a lot. They added a lot of stuff. We get to that. But also their idea was to make them even more asymmetric. As in, you know, they fill a similar role, which is, you know, it's the IFV. So you have, you know, a bit more firepower on the ground on certain maps. It is a bit smaller and does it, you know, just a little bit more. If that's important. But also, asymmetry in my first-person shooter. What is this? The actual thing that Battlefield 5 did? Because remember what the main feature of Battlefield 5 was? It had, you know, different factions that all had different vehicles because the vehicle selection in that game was really good. And most importantly, the German tanks weren't just copies of the British tanks. And the Japanese tanks and American tanks weren't the same. And then when they brought over the Americans to the Western Front, it was like, okay, so one faction suddenly had a lot of tank models, Germans. So, you know, you had light, medium, heavy tanks. Meanwhile, the Americans were like, here's a wheeled tank for the light part, and to compensate for that, it's just more like, yeah, the Sherman just has more upgrades. So, you know, they just had the Shermans, but they had more Shermans, and they had more, you know, they could do more with the Shermans. That's cool. I think we can all agree on that it is cool. And again, I just sit here being like, you're telling me the IFBs are trying to be more unique from each other? That's interesting. I didn't expect you to go back to asymmetry again that much. A surprise, to be sure, but a welcome one, as some might say. And then they also doubled down on being like, hey, what if we give you even more options to actually, you know, build those vehicles into different directions? Again, it's simple stuff. And some stuff is gamey, as in, like, they kind of changed and adapted what they had from one, you know, package into you do more damage, but you also take more damage. Is this a bit of a gamey thing? Sure, yes, I'm not disagreeing on that part, but also it's also kind of an interesting idea that you can actually, you know, push like the literal tanks in the game in way different, you know, sub-worlds actually. Again, they're definitely testing ideas out for the next title, and they probably were like, you know what, let's just try this. That sounds nice. And you see what I mean with, I'm very much looking forward to the next title because of small things like that, because I think the devs understand what they're supposed to do, and also I think this title right here is leaving so much potential on the floor because they're just seeing a mechanic. They can, you know, single out this is a good mechanic, but then they are not doing a lot with the mechanic. Meanwhile, you have, hey, we should put IFVs into the game. We have 2 IFV models already. Okay, actually they had 4 to choose from. Now it gets interesting. See, this is the vault vehicle thing in Battlefield. Because they basically had the vehicle selection from Battlefield 3 and Bad Company 2 as well. Similar to, you know, 1942, but like, I don't think they're gonna add an, I don't think they're gonna add a Panzer IV into the roster, is what I'm saying, you know? That's probably not going to happen. But anyway. So we are now at the fact that, hey, we need to add IFVs. So what are we going to do? Which one are we going to pick? They could pick the Bad Company 2 selection, Bradley and BMP3, or they could pick the Battlefield 3 selection, LAV and BMP2. Frankly, I felt it would have been the Battlefield 3 selection because certain teasing implied they might make a map with a beach landing, but we have to see where that turns out. It wouldn't surprise me if they come up with like a surprise update like, hey, the KFV Brawler just has more functionality now and is amphibious, and you're like, oh, okay. You just do that. Go on. But just to be clear here, it's interesting that they just went back to let's go even more into asymmetry, because 2042 had less of that. They still had, you know, the asymmetry in some parts, but yeah. And then they added on top of that, that's, you know, hey, how about we take the Bradley and the BMP2, so from, you know, 2 different games, not the opposite ones in their own games. And then just make them even more different and make them more unique, and you're like, ah. Okay, you know what? Yes, we have more fortification systems here because those things weren't there before, and this is like... It's kind of wild that this wasn't here before because it just made the map so much worse. Like, oh yeah, the bridges just get destroyed. And then you couldn't pass between the objectives as easily. That was such a fun part where I was always thinking like, why isn't there a thing to go over? And now there is. Oh wait. There's a bit more than sandbags in the game, I guess. A little bit more. A teeny tiny bit.
The enemy has taken objective Charlie 2. Keep alert.
Yeah. In comparison, I look at this game and I see mechanics being taken in the most simplistic way, and it's fine, it's fun, it's not a bad game to play, you know, while I wait for bigger updates in the, you know, or the new title in the game series I kind of want to play. But also, the shelf life of this game really is until the next Battlefield title starts testing, isn't it? That's gonna be it. And I don't know if they managed to get here in time. Because what they would need is getting some sort of parity. Because right now the only offerings they have is there's stuff to do. There's a lot of free shit, you know, for that it is a free-to-play game. You know, good gun selection and what you can modify with them. I give them that. And general gameplay is solid. And I'm basically just waiting for the fact that, yeah, you know, I do like the weeklies in Battlefield. Still need to do that, but, you know. And I just wait for, is there new content or the next title? And now they're coming up with, hey, you like tanking? I like tanking. I'm, you will definitely see me post some very obnoxious I main tanks memes on Tuesday. Because, yes, I play tanks in games like
Defending and hold them off.
Heroes of the Storm, MMOs, etc. But also, I play tanks. Also, why is the fucking glass not...
Secure it with all you've got.
Can I just talk about the fact that glass destruction was a feature in Call of Duty? Like...
Attention, objective Charlie 1 is now
I don't know.
enemy control. Find the
Weird shit.
opportunity to take it back.
Probably will come later down the line, but like, again,
Allied
some
forces
stuff where I'm just like, why isn't it there yet? Why don't I get the feeling that this game wants to do more? Because, in terms of wanting to do more, in terms of getting the feeling there is an ambition in putting stuff in the game, this game is getting beaten by a game on life support. Like, let's not fret words. When I say the next updates for Battlefield 2042 sound good in terms of, what they're adding, let's just not forget that this and, the next events are still on life support. It's a small crew on there. They're probably testing some stuff for the next game with it. And also, there might be one more map coming, but then the game is over and they're gonna test the next title. It's... And yet, I still look at it and I'm like, wow, those tanks, those IFBs, those will definitely change a whole lot how the game will be played, because they're one hell of an addition. Similar to how, when they added the Black Hawk, they removed gunships from Breakthrough and Rush, and it made the game so much better. Like,
Roger that. Artillery barrage incoming.
that's the thing what I keep talking about. When it comes to designing games, you can add, features that seem big, but have very little impact. But similarly, you can have small things that can change completely how everything is played.
Hold on, I'm here.
And that is such an important thing to figure out what is what. Because, ironically, I would say what they added in Delta Force this season seems like a lot. But in actuality, it's ironing out problems. Meanwhile, having a completely new tank selection that allows you to completely differently interact with, the whole vehicle selection, that will change a lot how things are being played. Because now, in addition to, well, there we go. Ah, everything done. Perfect. High explosive grenade launcher. Oh. Repair fireworks beacon. Where is that? Probably need to check that one out later. And I'm already back to 10 vouchers, so yeah. Yes, gonna do that. Really quick then. And yeah. What do we have here, by the way? Oh, yeah, okay. Did we unlock stuff? No. Anti-personal... Oh, yeah. And I think you have the smoke grenade launcher for some reason. Great.
Get ready, soldier.
Well, someone has played a lot already.
Negotiations have failed. War has torn this land apart, leaving it cracked. And GTI is determined to extend the conflict. Hold position as they launch an assault on our objectives. If you are pushed back, set up defenses in the buildings beyond the engage immediately and assist
Oh yeah,
Allied forces
now
in
you can
guarding
flank
the
around here.
objectives.
That's new. This area is new. So, well, let's see what we can build here.
Secure our last sector, whatever it takes. Objective one, lost. The enemy has taken
Yeah, obviously you can now lock down the lanes a bit more.
Thank you.
Okay, interesting. It's even simpler than I expected. Because, as you saw, there were some, you know, that are just halfway built up. I thought I probably need to investigate because but it seems like those are just what you can build. So they just fixed what you can build where. Meanwhile, from what I remember, halfway building was a thing in 5, but this was a thing you two did. Interestingly, this was also a feature in Call of Duty World War II. Yes, I know, this is probably the weirdest game to bring up for that, but it is. They did that. You could build sandbag walls there, and they were, yeah. You could build them halfway, and hey, that's that. You build it halfway, done. Just stop. It's just a halfway wall then. You know, which makes sense if you think about it. It's probably a thing a lot of people didn't because they were like just always building them full. But no, could build halfway, which was pretty cool.
Allied forces are attacking objective Charlie 1. This is our last position. Secure it with all you've got.
I didn't even know why I climbed that ladder, just automatic. Again, ladder climbing. I know it's hard to program, but still. It just happened to another person, god damn it.
Roger that. Artillery barrage incoming. The enemy has cleared objective Charlie 2. Need a quick cover attack.
Smoke barrage ready.
And this is the one map where I think, oh hey, they could have made a bit, you know, that you could destroy more. They said that, you know, you can now destroy like 2 buildings more, but I really don't see what it is that you can destroy.
Our forces have taken full control of objective Charlie 2. Let's go for the next objective. Roger that. Artillery barrage incoming. Enemy has taken objective Charlie 2. Keep alert. We have lost all sectors. Operation failed. Extract immediately.
Oh well, let's keep going.
Get ready, soldier.
Yeah.
1 hour ago, GTI
Oh.
forces secured
think
evidence
they-
that Havoc is developing biotoxins in this hidden lab. Your mission is simple. Penetrate their defensive lines and seize the biotoxins. When the flare goes up, conduct a swift and aggressive attack. Clearing the
I
train
heard
yard
they
and
added
tunnels of
some
any
more
Havoc
stuff.
forces
Really?
before
That's the
advancing to
container
lab.
section?
If we fail,
That's the container
who
section,
knows
okay.
what horrors will will be unleashed on the world.
I guess. I guess.
Capturing sector and the enemy will have no place to hide. Allied troops neutralizing objective Alpha.
Almost. Almost.
We've neutralized objective Alpha. Sector Alpha secure. Keep neutralizing all enemy forces.
You know what? Building a bit more. And it's still weird that they brought this back, but I mean, I guess.
Capture this sector. Don't give them any ground.
I think this is probably the weirdest part for me. I don't think I usually would say, you know, I usually wouldn't say, you know, I mean, usually people take, when a game has some design elements, for example, that are a bit aggravating, that some corporate people have meshed with the game, when usually it's more like, you know, designers are humans. They fuck up design. Corporate is, like, the corporate level usually is very hands-off with stuff. They're basically saying, here are some rough guidelines you should fulfill, and that's that. The weirdest part for me is really that Delta Force is probably the most corporate-feeling game I've ever played in a long time. Because the longer you play it, the more you're like, this isn't bad, this is competently made,
Allied troops engaging in objective Bravo 2.
and yet it's so devoid of ideas. But let me put it like this, every idea that is in this game came from somewhere else. This doesn't change that it's good ideas, it doesn't change that it's, you know, again, you know, put together competently, because, let's just be real here, even if a game, and this is important to say, even if a game just steals a lot of shit from other games, very much straight up, still making that game is fucking hard and took hours and hours of labor from people
Allied troops engaging
you know, hopefully got paid well for that. This is still, you know, there's still craftsmanship in this game, even though, you know, it's basically just copying stuff.
Smoke barrage ready.
But yeah, it is a weird feeling to just sit there being like,
Allied troops
this isn't
launching
bad,
assault on objective Bravo 1.
but also not much more.
Objective Bravo 1 clear. We have taken objective Bravo 1. Smoke screen is coming.
I mean,
Sector Bravo under
this
control.
map right here, for example, is basically literally, like, the loading screen itself basically feels literally ripped from how's it called? You know, concept art for a map from Battlefield 2042.
They've nowhere else
You still need to, you know, you still need to make have talent to make it a solid map, and honestly, I generally would say the maps in Delta Force are not bad. But also, like, it's weird that I can look at some of them and I just immediately see, like, yeah, this was taken from somewhere. That's just weird. Oh, wow. Neat. Killed someone with that thing. That should be a good amount of damage done. Alright, let's use the smoke launcher a bit, which is the stupidest thing to ever use on them because they didn't learn from the support in Battlefield, but I don't care. Like, I think this is probably one of the most hilarious parts about this game, because they just straight up copied some characters. You know, for the two characters, I don't know where directly Toxic is from, but it feels she's probably a Valorant character that I don't know. Like, then again, I don't know who I could ask with that because I don't feel like I'm playing a lot of Valorant. Because I'm not playing a lot of Valorant. I played like a bit when it came out, and I was like, yeah, it's Counter-Strike, alright? It's not my bread and butter. I don't really like those games. But yeah, that's a weird part, you know. You can definitely draw a line from those characters. Like, some definitely are like, okay, those were ripped from Battlefield. Then you have some where like, okay, those were ripped from Call of Duty. And then you have some where like, okay, those were ripped from Valorant. And I feel like she is ripped from Valorant. I don't know though. Again, Valorant people, do you know that? Is there like a character that boosts weapon aim in a certain area? I don't know.
Capture the last sector. We're going to win this.
No, but I could actually also just do it with her, because everyone has the Car-15. It's literally the multi-purpose weapon for...
Keep attacking.
Okay. And I like playing support, so, you know. You know what? Being awake until 8 AM, getting called by your dad at 10 AM, so ripped out of sleep, and then going back to sleep for like, at just like 4 to 5 hours, and then streaming with an energy drink, it just really makes your body feel like, why are you doing this to me?
We're going to win this.
Should have just drank more tea, like, and, you know, played more Ragnarok Online, but no! I had to go and stream Delta Force. I'm not that mad about it. Do hope everyone enjoys it though, so... Like, also interesting, yeah, the whole, this is especially weird why... Okay, so the support class gets a smoke grenade launcher. This is the most useless thing you could put on the support class. You know why? What does it do? Oh hey, okay, you make a smoke screen. Makes sense, right? As, you know, maybe an ability and such, that would be great, right? And also you have ammo and med stuff on the character, but also, let's go over this. So, look at, basically, Stinger. He's Falk. Like, it's basically the same fucking heal med pistol, and you can make a smoke screen,
Strategic beacon deployed.
and your grenade is a smoke grenade.
Smoke screen incoming.
You have 2 smoke options. Why would you pick anything else? Also, you have a heal option, so the obviously only thing you could, you know, heal and smoke, so like, oh, so your kid is healing and smoking, aka... Okay, you know what? Fuck it, I'm not gonna make smoking jokes anymore. No, it's like, it's, you know, you... Okay, fuck, you smoke an area, okay? It's vision denial and healing. So the obvious thing you take with him is ammo crate or ammo pack, because obviously you already have healing in your kit. You pick ammo. But then you have toxic, which I kinda like, and it's like, oh hey, you have a buff, you have a buff debuff, you have smoke. Also, your trait is literally you stand beside people and you activate their healing faster. So why would you take anything besides fucking ammo? Why is this here? The answer is because Battlefield has it. And once again, it just baffles me how this game sometimes just adds things. Clearly, because, you know, other games have them, but they never thought about why do these games have that? And the interesting part about it is, why does Battlefield 2042 have that? The answer is simple. It wasn't well designed in the beginning, and they didn't want to backtrack on some of the most stupid ideas. The thing I kept saying is, remove, you know, ammo from the support there. Which was the most major thing they did. They should have done. Because the only real reason why you play the third support, aka, you know, Irish, is simply, Irish has an overloaded as fuck kit. He has, you know, a wall. He has, anti-grenade, gadgets. So, yeah, he just has, like, one hell of a good kit. That's the only reason why you use him. Even though you can only use either, you know, you can only, on him you can actually only use either ammo or healing. Nothing else. And yeah, if they removed, you know, the ammo and such from Falk and Angel, and Bet were like, oh hey, what if the, you know, assaults have ammo now? That would be better. But I guess not.
They've nowhere else to run. Final push. 50% allied support left. We must pick up the pace. Capture the last sector. We're going to win this. Strategic beacon deployed.
Japan means you're still alive.
Victory in sight. They can't hold much longer.
Quiet! I'll fix you up in no time. Crank it up to 11.
Strategic beacon ready to deploy.
They've nowhere else to run. Final push. Strategic beacon deployed.
Nice.
Boost activated.
Neutralize.
Eh.
Smoke screen incoming. objective left. You're almost there.
Let's get a joke on me!
Strategic beacon ready to deploy.
Cover me!
Smoke screen incoming. Neutralize objective Charlie.
Let's take this up a notch! Dragonfly, keep that on!
A big win.
Well,
Operation accomplished. Solid day's work.
didn't have that much luck apparently with warfare matches so far because since the update is in, they now added achievements and now they were like, oh hey, you won a match. Oh boy. Lose streak. Holy shit. Also, you know what, I guess it's time to also talk about the elephant in the room. Holy shit, this game needs to actually give us the ability to hide global chat. What the fuck? So, yeah, here's the thing. Wait, oh yeah, you also just unlock a bunch of skins, later on. That's neat. It's neat. You not only unlock weapons, you also unlock skins, so, again, very generous for a free-to-play game. I do need to do more damage with the high explosive launcher. What the fuck is the fireworks speaking? Oh yeah, let's press to request control. I love how some stuff is also just kind of badly translated. It's kind of amazing. Yeah. Anyway, some more stuff we could do here. No, that was 37. Do we have a better optic? Oh, yes, we do. So, fun fact, some stuff in this game, if you're wondering, hey, there's so much stuff I can do with this game, what is the best thing to build? Good news, everyone. This game is running off the cursed meta. It's a cursed meta. So one thing you will always need to keep in mind is you do want one laser on it, because that helps with stability, roughly. But also you generally want the ranger handguards because you want control. Control is like kind of the most important value for most guns. The thing is, you want all those patches for more control, obviously. So what do? You will, you're gonna use the multi-purpose tactical riser to have, your optics, and you slap your laser on there. The rest is gonna go to handguards. That's how you build stuff in this game. Yeah, cursed, but enjoy the knowledge. Okay. can't slap shit on it yet. Let me just check. Yeah, did I... This one is definitely more control stuff. Yeah. Oh. Actually, that's, I think, better right now. Yeah, take that one. Yeah. Let's, I guess we put some more. Let's see if we get one of the other new maps. At 2. I don't know why they didn't make a playlist with both of the new maps, but that's that, I guess. Also, let's try the new SMG afterwards, before we can see how it's and then we can see the best map so far.
To avoid being flanked, you must first break through the enemy's fortified trenches, taking out any artillery.
Which is kind of weird to say because this is a remake map, quote unquote, but also not really a remake map because lol LMAO, they just kind of completely removed everything from the original map other than the name, and I guess on some later versions there was a windmill there. But yeah, the elephant in the room is, yeah, you can turn off all chat for some reason. Why? I legitimately do not know. I feel like it feels to a degree for the devs that they are like, why should we remove such a feature? It worked. And I genuinely think, because they're like, oh, we need to look into that, and the answer is, don't have an all chat. Like, what did you, okay, take a wild guess. Giving you a few seconds or so, you know, you can type in the chat. What do you think is the most stuff that will be spammed in this all chat?
Objective Delta 1.
If you thought probably a ton of right-wing bullshit and racism, yes. I mean, shouldn't surprise anyone, right? It's meaningless shit, by the way. Absolute meaningless shit. But also, once again, why the hell is it, you know, why the hell can't you put it off? By the way, this fucking shit will always stand. It's just, it's a shit shack and it just stands. It has no destruction. It's kind of amazing how destruction is just so selective in this game. kind of amazing. That, by the way, it's not really a critique. I mean, you could put it on as a critique, but you know, more the nitpick behavior, because like, yes, you could say, hey, some things shouldn't be destructive and some things should. I totally agree with you on that. I genuinely think making everything destructible is not the best thing for games, and
Barrage ready.
you know, according to what the leak said, the fact that the next Battlefield title will have even less, you know, oh, you shoot a wall and it implodes kind of destruction, which they had before, and more, oh, you can now actually, you know, shoot more, you know, more bullets. They get more accurately, they can more accurately penetrate, you know, walls and stuff, and you know, destroy them. Doing that, you know, micro destruction. Basically, that's what Siege is doing. That's good in my opinion. I generally think that is a bit of a better way, especially since, I mean, I think people really probably won't remember Close Quarters DLC from Battlefield 3, which was interesting, because it kind of falls again into this whole category of the devs they are stealing from do a lot more stuff with intent. Even if that intent sometimes, you know, because let's just imagine someone makes an expansion for a Battlefield title, the one that is, you know, known for being, you know, especially say that's the one, oh, we're going back to 64 players, we have big tank battles, we're like literally the one title that goes up against Call of Duty, being like, haha, you know, you can actually fly that jet in our game. And then basically the first expansion that isn't, you know, it wasn't a pack-in launch bundle, almost, is here 4 maps that are basically just 32 players at best, close quarters with dominations. It's basically just a slightly bigger Call of Duty. You probably would have think like, what the fuck is going on here? But also, back in the day, that shit was still impressive to a big degree, because they did what they said was micro-destruction. And keep in mind, this was just going back from Bad Company 2, like a few years after Bad Company 2's destruction being, you know, being a few woodsheds that you blew up with like one rocket. And the rest of the map was more like, yeah, if the ditch gets big enough, you can hide in it. I hope that's enough cover for you. Now go out there and fight. That was Bad Company 2. And 3, it was similar. You know, it was more like, okay, there are now some buildings that you can't destroy, so you have more cover, and everyone was like, oh, this is more fun now to play. And then, yeah, Close Quarters came around, and they were like, hey, how about we actually, you know, make the map smaller, so, you know, we can actually cram more interesting stuff in it. So the maps actually were detailed, really detailed, and you could destroy all those details. Fair enough, you know, a few years later Siege came around, and I mean, we all played Siege. Let's just be real here. When the Siege beta was out there, or the Siege alpha, everyone played them and was like, damn. Also, hey, Rizlord, how are you doing? How's the Riz going? We all played Siege. I think, say, Rainbow Six Siege at launch was just one of those games where everyone's like, oh damn, this is pretty impressive. And frankly, yeah, it is. I'm not gonna be someone who says, you know, Siege bad. No, I don't know how it developed. the whole base idea of Siege was great, and it was. I still remember, you know, I still have actually clips from the alpha on this PC. I played with Agonia because, like, I remember we had one match on house that was kind of great. She played Montagne, and I don't know who I played, but we literally went up the stairs, and you know, she just blocked everything with a big ass shield, and I just precisely picked people off through the walls, and were like bam, bam, and like that was just good, you know. That was something. And again, I would lie if I wouldn't acknowledge that, you know, Battlefield 3 Close Quarters DLC was the predecessor to that. It was a lot more, you know, oh shit, actually, you know, it's more about people just fire randomly into the wall and the whole wall goes blammo, but like... It's not, you know, that they didn't try to do something with that, and this is why, you know, oh hey, there's this one DLC in a game that defines itself about being big battles again with tanks that people really liked. And also, interestingly, this was then used later on in some parts to make Aftermath, which is, in my opinion, yeah, some of the best maps in the whole franchise in terms of DLC. Well, not, you know, the iconic ones, but they were really fucking good. That was one hell of a good DLC back in the day. Talking about Battlefield 3, by the way. But again, now I'm looking at Delta Force and like I can see where they take things from, but they never. But this game doesn't think about the context why things exist, or why it was done, or if it is even a bad idea. Again, the interesting part about it is that the whole support class technically doesn't even need. It needs ammo boxes. Nothing else. You have healing kits, you have smoke abilities, and I don't know if that will change with later healers. Right now we don't have other healers, so who knows? But
Their last line of defense.
oh well, but yeah, reportedly the next Battlefield title, you know, going for more, you know, gradual destruction. That's gonna be good. That's gonna be great, actually. And okay, let me tell you one thing. The absolute brain dead videos about look how destruction was so much better in earlier titles, and then, you know, basically show just one single hut that evaporates the moment you cough at it, versus, you know, oh look, you need a bit more force and shit. Okay, quite literally, and I shit you not, I clicked on one of those videos and it was a mistake, and it literally is just, look, back then when I shot a house, everything exploded, and now when I shoot a house, just the corner goes broken. Yes, that means that's improvement of technology. They have more gradual destruction. What the fuck is wrong with people? This is just, it is the most brain dead outrage content I have ever witnessed. And you know what the most stupid thing is? The most absolute stupidest thing is, I saw in that video, they, you know, slowly bump into a tree in an older title, and the tree goes, ugh. I mean, obviously, you know, it's... What else would it do? Oh, you wanted destruction on the PS3 and other games? It was very rough. It was more often, you know, certain things with the destruction part hit something and it goes poof. In smoke, by the way, because let's just be real here, actually showing things breaking apart and changing the model, that would be too much on the render capability, so we just cloud everything in smoke and we just save so much on rendering space. That's the trick behind everything. Yeah, that's, by the way, why you have so much shit in video games that is that is basically, here's a lot of smoke and explosions that cover everything up that changes behind it. And meanwhile, you know, if you look at people are like, oh, why are people so impressed by something like The Last of Us 2, where they where Ellie pulls off her shirt, and everyone working in video games is like, are you fucking kidding me? Do you know how much work that was so it doesn't fucking clip? It's like, it's the door problem. You add doors to something, and it creates an infinite amount of problems.
Guided missiles lost.
Explosions you can have for days. Doors, no. It is actually most impressive that doors have become kind of a staple nowadays in some multiplayer titles, because holy shit.
They can't hold much longer.
Thank you.
And honestly, it wouldn't surprise me if that only happened to a certain degree, because Visceral Games is now no more. I know, sounds probably a bit weird to say it like that, like, oh wait, why Visceral Games not being a thing anymore? The answer is, they basically did doors first in multiplayer. I know people from out, who don't play the Battlefield series are like, did people like Hardline? Most of us in the community did. It's like, as I said, for most people it's either their second or third most liked game. So yeah. But also Hardline had doors. That was one of the big features it had. And then because that door technology was in there, Battlefield 1 had it. Battlefield 5 has it. And 2042 has it. And it wouldn't surprise me if some engineers ended up at Infinity Ward and whoops, suddenly there were doors in Call of Duty, because once you figured out doors, yeah, you know what? It's kind of impressive. But yeah, you see that bait, and it's like, look how much better everything was back then, and it's like, it's worse. You're literally showing something worse. And then just the next clip is like, just slightly bumps into a tree goes poof. And then in Battlefield 24 they're like, look, I slightly bump into the tree, and the tree doesn't fall over, and I just sit there being like, no shit, Sherlock. And then like, look, I need to drive with a bit more velocity against the tree for it to fall over. And like, yes. That's called how it's happening in real life, you dumbass. Ah, sorry for being a bit angry here. It's just, yeah, you know what? Sorry, the outrage bait got me. But just, probably because, it's such an obvious bullshit. And it generally makes me question, why do people make this? Like, yeah, but also, I don't know how that is. It feels very much like,
Guided missiles lost. Copy. Vehicle dropped to designated location. Victory in sight. They can't hold much longer. Roger that. Artillery barrage incoming. Smoke screen incoming. The enemy's defense was stronger than expected.
you know what? I feel like there are some people, some people on YouTube / social media that set some really bad trends where I feel like we should, maybe the people in medieval ages were right. Sometimes maybe you should just put someone, on the town square, and let people throw tomatoes at them, because it just ruins shit. Don't kill people. I'm very much against death sentences. But public shaming, you know what? I can talk about that to a degree. Because, yeah, if you look at... Because, like, if you look at the whole Outrage compilation shit, that was Carbot. And was it Carbot? I think he was called like that. Basically, some guy went, sat down. I don't think we should do crucifixions. Also, they weren't really, you know, they weren't really using crosses back then. This was more like just, you know, it was just a stick, but Crocat? Crap? Something with C was it? I can look it up. But like basically, some guy started making compilation videos of something being just kinda really bad at launch. And that was, you know, it was fine. Like sometimes you just, you know, sometimes it's just fun to, you know, to be like, hey, Fallout 76 is a train wreck. And then someone is like, is just showing, yes, it is this much of a train wreck. And then just cuts in sometimes like, hey, look. And he said that in comparison. That is fun, you know, for once or twice, I would say. But still, it needs so much more... It needs more nuance, is what I'm saying. Because... Also, let's gonna put in the new map again, because I ain't gonna get the other map in right now. Because, yeah, you need nuance for shit. And after and that's the thing, the algorithm was like, oh, hey, you get, you know, you get uphold for making compilation videos that have some sort of, you know, negative angle, and everyone was like, ooh. You know what's easier than waiting for, you know, a new shit show to happen, you know, like Fallout 76 or Cyberpunk at launch? Those were shit shows, you know. It was kind of funny to just show like everything is just broken in those games. How about we just make shit up? Lying is easy. Lies. Also, again,
Make it quick.
that's the thing. You know what the best part about the internet is? You don't have consequences. That's what I say, you know, get some public shaming back would maybe help. Especially if you, again, start one of those really shitty trends, because it's literally just... Because that's the weird part. I feel like, to a degree, you could say it's outrage bait. But I think those fuckers actually believe that. Might be that the first guy making it, you know... Wait a second.
Help them win this war. If I don't make it home, I want you to know that watching sunsets with you were the happiest moments of my life.
Okay, weird. But like, yeah, probably the first person doing it, they probably knew they were grifting. But now we have a flood of people just being like, what if we just literally make shit up and believe that fuck? It's like, oh yeah, everything is awful right now. And the content machine is just rewarding it because it doesn't matter what you say, it just matters that enough people click it. And if you make shit up, well, that algorithm rewards you, so yeah. Yeah, it's... God, I'm just ranting here about stuff. Like, as for when I say that this game just steals from everywhere else, which makes it kind of a competent game, and also it is generous for a free-to-play game. Don't. It's actually even generous compared to, you know, a lot of pay-to-play games. So I'm not gonna slander it on that part. It's just.
Thank you.
If you play a game where, you know, you really feel like the devs didn't want to have their own ideas, that's sad. And this is why, and I will definitely talk about that more. I think the moment the next Battlefield comes out, this game will lose players. Hell, if if they're actually releasing, like, literally the last event with a map, soonish or later, it's gonna be they probably also lose players for that. People will return briefly, like, you know, probably not long, because again, small event will probably not take a lot of people in, but they will play. I mean, especially if the rumored map turns out to be Iwo Jima, that will get some people back. A lot of people will be like, oh hey, Iwo Jima and a new Battlefield game, I would play that. Cool, sure. And then they will be like, oh cool, there are new vehicles there, they're really well done and they're really unique right now. And yeah, well. So yeah, spoiler, Tuesday, some new Battlefield stuff. Gonna play tanks. It's not as big as, oh hey, they have new, you know, 2 new maps on there, and like literally stole another system from Battlefield. But I don't know, do you like Bradleys? Do you like BMP2s? I'll drive them on Tuesday. It's gonna be fun. Even though ironically the Bradley is getting replaced. So yeah, okay, actually it's kind of funny to think about the fact that the Bradley is now in Battlefield 2042, even though it's supposed to get replaced, but you know, there are some things in this world that will never be replaced. Oh, I can build up there. Okay, let's do that then.
Hold on, I'm here.
Okay. Oh. How was your week, by the way? How did everything go? Do we have anything to build here? Over there. Oh. Don't fall in there. So yeah, if you're wondering, hey, isn't that... Yeah, they just literally stole the fortification system from Battlefield 5. Animations and all. Yes and no. I don't know if Fortnite did it first, but it's also different. But yeah, I mean it's also, that's just as I said earlier in the stream, it is kind of like the weakest version of that system I know, because you can build sandbags, you know, and sandbags with holes in it. So those were basically 1-to-1 in Battlefield 5. I know at 2 and on one map you can put down like basically very shitty bridges made from wood, which it just kind of fixes up a thing in the map when it gets destroyed, so it's fine. And otherwise turrets. Everything else it's just that, it's just the sandbags. Meanwhile in 5 you could like literally dig trench systems, that was actually kind of impressive. That you, as I said, there was like one launch map, Arras, which was one of the better maps in the game. Like they had some good maps actually, where you know one area was just an open field, like literally an open field. But you could take like a whole trench system, like organically, like it changed when people were there and they were like, oh yeah, let's dig trenches, let's dig, you know, let's put up sandbags, let's actually put something there where nothing was there. And that was cool. That's not in this game, but it was cool. This game just like kind of took literally the most basic version of that system, which is good, but also weird how this game always only does the most basic things. Whee! Come over. Come here. Come here. Yeah. Nah. Fuck. But yeah, the thing is, if you're wondering where I say they stole it from there, again, the whole implementation, how it looks like with the outlines and everything, it's 1-to-1 Battlefield 5. It's just the same. It's just the same system. God damn it. Oh yeah, the new character. Ironically, I would say the new champion is, I think, the only one that isn't stolen, quote unquote, from any game I know, because like I feel like, you know, I mean, she's definitely stolen from Valorant. All the female characters are probably stolen from Valorant. What the fuck? Those two are definitely I think also Valorant. This one is probably, it is Battlefield 100%, but also 2 degree is also Battlefield. Well, this one is from Battlefield. This one from Battlefield, and yeah, I just like, I don't know which one is from Valorant, which one is from Call of Duty, which one is from Battlefield. So yeah, the new one is how should I say it? You can put down barbed wire, so cool, area denial. I kind of wish that wasn't Battlefield actually, but who knows, maybe that will still come. Again, they're just adding 2 new IFVs with like one hell of an extensive rework. Who knows what the final updates will bring at this point. The game is certainly not dead as we speak, which is wild. Because everyone thought it was, you know, just, oh yeah, we just added a bit more things. No, it's like, completely rework Bradley and BMP2? Yeah, sure. There it is. Just enjoy that. No. Yeah. Ooh. Yeah, news character is basically, how about we take a shield? You know, they have a shield, they have barbed wire and a grappling hook, and you're like, That sounds nasty. I don't know if we will unlock him today. Probably not. So we'll see.
Enemy has taken objective Charlie 2.
Charges up!
Enemy has taken objective Charlie 2. Keep alert.
Really close one!
There.
The enemy has captured objective Charlie 2. Take it back, now! Allied forces are attacking objective Charlie 2. Send reinforcements to the objective. There's nowhere to retreat to. Do not let the sector fall. We have cleared objective Charlie 2. Stay sharp.
I just realized I definitely drank too much tea today. I mean, not
The enemy has cleared objective Charlie 1.
in the sense, you know, oh hey, you drank too much water. No, no, no. Stay hydrated, everyone. It's not summer yet, but stay hydrated. But you know, after I think 3 or 4 cans of tea, your body is gonna say, that was a lot of water. So,
Minimal losses. We
yeah.
need to keep defending the sector.
Oh wait, defend the sector,
Secure
everyone.
our last sector, whatever it takes.
Oh yeah, right, I forgot. She was basically stolen from... Black Ops 4. Because kind of a similar thing going on there.
The situation is critical. Stand your ground, defend at all costs. This is our last defense. We must hold it.
Oh, also what I find very interesting, how much they, you know, in terms of just stealing characters and character concepts, how they make them a bit more, wait, just very generic in this game. Like,
Situation is critical. Stand your ground, defend at all costs. Allied forces are taking objective Charlie 1. Reinforce fire support.
like, here's the thing. When you make a game with heroes / specialists, it is to a degree all about the characters. So it's kind of interesting that, you know, the 2 recon roles are, you know, the hacking and stealth department is all female. Meanwhile, everyone wielding, you know, you know, the souls with grenade launchers and all the, you know, beefy rocket launcher ones are just, you know, beardy gruff dudes and like,
Objective Charlie 2, lost. Take it back.
you're really playing into the cliches here, you know? And it's kind of getting more obvious because, you know, I get that probably 2 of them are gender swaps just to, you know, you don't notice it outright because, again, Stinger is Falk from Battlefield 2042, so, you know, oh, they gender swapped Falk. And she is that one, you know, arrow guy from Valorant, so, you know, gender swap. But then you also realize, oh, hey, it's funny how in action media / action games, you know, a lot of girls get the role of, you know, badass hacker and shit. I don't have a problem with that, you know. That's it's not bad. It's just at some point you realize it's A, overdone, and B, yeah, subconsciously a lot of that stuff it's one of the few things that gets granted, you know, to those characters because, let's just spell it out here, too many devs are just cowards enough to not make a Roberta character or a Balalaika character or a Revi character. Shout out to everyone who has watched Black Lagoon and knows exactly who I'm talking about. I mean, seriously, even in the games that do better in that department, it is kind of wild to think about that the best you can get is to a degree, oh hey, you know, we put some male characters in the, you know, usually more female-dominated roles, and you're like, oh, okay, yeah, that's one part, it's not the other one. Again, I have this theorem that there's intrinsic fear of Roberta characters and Balalaika characters. Oh God, no! See, why did you bring that the cursed shit up? Ah. Didn't the guy retire actually? I think a game theory is probably, you know, it's a harmless meme, but it's one of those that really makes me angry. It's, you know, it's not the indulgence as I have as with, you know, constantly saying it loops around itself, just like Dark Souls, which, yeah, I will kill that to obnoxiousness. You will hate me for it, and I will be glad. But yeah, a game theory is like, I hate the fact that, you know, oh yeah, that's just a theory of mine. Yeah, fuck, no, fuck. Don't say that. It's cursed words. You're inviting people. You're just inviting them. Ah.
Smoke barrage ready.
The situation is critical. Stand your ground, defend at all costs. Secure our last sector, whatever it takes.
Why is there a big beeping?
Enemy forces at low capacity. Carry on.
Flush out! That's a wrap! Found them!
barrage ready.
This is the final line of defense. Hold it at all costs. Roger that. Artillery barrage incoming. Allied forces are taking objective Charlie 1. Reinforce fire support.
Artillery barrage ready.
The situation is critical. Stand your ground. Defend at all costs.
Come out and face the music!
Roger that.
Enemy
Artillery
located.
barrage incoming. Allied forces are clearing objective Charlie 1. Keep suppressing. There's nowhere to retreat to. Do not let this sector fall. The enemy has taken objective Charlie 2. Keep alert.
Artillery barrage ready.
We held the line and the sector is secured. Operation complete. Well
Nice.
done.
Yeah, how about that? I'm just gonna quickly go to the toilet. We're gonna have one more round, and we can wrap this up for today. It's still funny that this game just jumps to season 3. And they're just even calling it in-game season 3. And they were like, oh no, this is season 1 before. And like, nope. It's season 3. So yes, we're going to that now. Yeah. So yeah, literally going to be back in a second, and see, just right back. Stay in the thing. The stream will just stay up. I'm back. So, hope you're all doing still well. Blech. Blech. Hope you're still doing well. Let's collect all the stuff that we got here. And then let's go onwards. Ah yeah, we finally can leave that behind us. Seriously, what is the fireworks speaking? I am like legitimately sitting here being like, what does that mean? You know, good question actually, but seriously, what does that mean? Okay, oh yeah, by the way, it's like, I don't think this is like really a ranking, I don't know if it's called a ranking system, it's more like you play and have a certain performance and the game just, you know, puts you higher and then you gain things from that. I literally was Colonel in the last minutes of the, you know, the preseason, and I was like, yeah, you know, stop, I'm not gonna play a 5th match and just get the reward, so... And then, you know, the stream was basically the day switched, and for some reason, every game updates, you know, it's like, update day, but for Europe this means the update is at, you know, 19, in my time zone, you know, at 19 o'clock. So you're like, okay, not this game, they just were like, oh, yep, the date switched, fuck you. You lost all the progress. I'm like, why? Didn't need to do that. Could have wanted that. I kind of demanded. I guess I will just work my way up again. It's a bit dumb. Also, again, why is there not a why are there both new maps in there? But no. Sometimes you just like, you know, think, why is that? Why is that bullshit? This is bullshit. Everything is bullshit. At least tomorrow is more Portal. Well, no, not more Portal. It's starting. You know, we're starting Portal 2. So, Toxic Yuri the game. I mean, as I said in the first game, selling gloves are totally a thing. I'm sorry. You can't convince me otherwise.
Of Asaran pride, symbolizing cooperation between the Asaran royal family and Havoc. But today, it has once again become a theater of war. Havoc claims that GTI forces blew the dam in an attempt to flood Asara and justify their intervention in the region. GTI claimed that the attack on the dam was a false flag action organized by Havoc. Each side tells a different story, but there is only one truth.
I could... Oh yeah, you know what? Let's try the new SMG. Perfect timing, actually, for that.
Neutralize the enemy and take over all sectors.
You know...
Let's get a jolt in our veins! Go back!
Engaging an objective Alpha.
It's kind of cute, honestly, that... okay, you know what? This is probably the most random topic shift if you know, are not with me here and in my mind. But, like, it's kind of cute how, over the last years, the marketing of IKEA just keeps incorporating Blahash. They know people love that plushy shark to death. And, I mean... I get it. It's not like we also have one here. And took it with us on vacation, so it could see the sea. It was, you know, vitally important. No, it's genuinely very, very charming because, like 2 or 3 years ago, I noticed they had advertisements, like, on buses and you know, bus stations and such here, where they're like, "Hey, optimize your storage space," and you know, it wasn't advertisements for their wardrobes, and the wardrobe was stuffed full with blahash. So like, you know your fucking audience. And now someone posted a picture of, you know, from an IKEA where they had you know, their transparent storage boxes, you know, on the wall, and we're like, optimize your storage space. And guess what those storage boxes were filled with? That's right, the shark plushies are back. It's just, it's kind of interesting how this one shark plushie has just become kind of the mascot for, you know, I don't know what, it's just a mascot, and it's kind of wholesome. Like, I mean, aside from the fact that it A, is a perfect design, and B, it's also very soft. Like, it's generally a good plushie. I'm usually not saying that a lot. Like, I know, trust me, in my years, there were a lot, I know a lot of plushies, and a lot of them are not as good as that shark. It's generally good, but yeah, it's very cute that it kept being, that it keeps being, you know, the advertisement phase for IKEA. It's just like, yeah, you know. Why wouldn't you stuff your shelf full with blahash?
Our forces are well prepared. Push forward.
Yeah, okay, this thing kicks, so gonna have to get some attachments onto that. Well, oh yeah, you know.
Smoke barrage ready.
I actually only got that voice line once, but like, interestingly, because I mean, the character I'm playing is Polish, there's a rare line if you get shot and make it out, you know, don't die. She can just say "Suka bliat," just like, yeah, you know what, that fits. I mean, it's generally interesting how a lot of actually, you know, current gaming culture was shaped in the European space. Like, secretly that really only happened because, well, when you live in Europe, you share your servers with a lot of languages. This is why we all hate the French, by the way. Like, okay, no shame against the French. It's just, why are you like this? I mean, in online games, you know, why are you like this? We know you can speak English. Why are you refusing to speak English? And also, why are you, why do the French sometimes just end up being then the most toxic people, you know, in French? It's like, why? And then usually they also play shit, so why does that happen? But yeah, you know, big overlap of languages and such, so it's interesting, it's funny.
This objective can make or break the battle. Take it down. Attention! We've lost half our forces. Objective Alpha cleared.
Let's get a jolt in our veins!
We've taken a critical objective from the enemy. Nice work. Sector Alpha captured. Neutralize all enemy forces. Attack! Keep them out!
I just realized you don't get reinforcements back when you know, the enemy is supposed to move back into their territory. But why was that
Allied troops
outside
launching
of
an
the
assault on
area?
objective Bravo 2.
Where was that outside of the area? What?
Bravo 2 clear. Stay put. Roger that. Artillery barrage incoming. enemy has taken over objective Bravo 2. Allied troops neutralizing objective Bravo 1.
Tossing grenade! Down!
We've neutralized objective Bravo 1.
Get off and fight them!
Objective Bravo 1 secured.
Moving back!
The enemy has taken objective Bravo 2. Allied troops launching an assault on objective Bravo 2.
Strategic beacon ready to deploy.
Where was... Oh, shotgun from behind. It's always a shotgun from behind.
The enemy is attacking objective Bravo 1. We've lost half our reinforcements. Speed up the attack.
Face! It's time for payback! Loading new ammo! Enemy located! I'm reloading!
Roger that. Artillery barrage incoming.
Quiet! I'll fix you up in no time.
Objective Bravo 1 is under attack. We have marked a high-value objective. Take it quickly and push forward.
Artillery barrage ready.
Oh god, shotguns. No. I do kinda get why some games... Okay, at least one... Let's just... Let's talk a bit about Homefront. That one was a weird game. I liked it. Does a lot of good stuff. It has one hell of an interesting mode that I feel like more games should actually just straight up copy now that, you know, Homefront multiplayer is dead because the people that made it, they're making Warframe now. They don't make Homefront multiplayer anymore. The thing I found interesting was that game, at least, you know, if you play the normal game, didn't have shotguns. Which is an interesting decision for a multiplayer game, but frankly, I get it. Everyone expects there to be shotguns because, you know, it's shotguns. How can you not have shotguns? But ironically, if your game doesn't have shotguns, Well, you're kind of removing a big part of the balancing equation suddenly, and it kind of works out better because everyone, you know, does a variant of the same thing. You know, you suddenly don't need to balance around the shotgun. And then they added the shotgun as a pre-order bonus, aka it was totally busted. Which is just, how the hell did that happen? Just everyone else, yeah, no shotguns, making every game pretty well balanced, and then, you know, pre-order for shotgun. That shotgun is busted.
Enemy key objective is under our control. Continue the attack. Secure sector Bravo. Keep neutralizing all enemy forces. Roger that. Artillery barrage incoming. This is their last chance. Take the sector. Allied troops launching an assault on objective Charlie 1. Smoke screen incoming.
Strategic beacon.
Not getting out of this one.
Artillery barrage ready.
Roger that. Artillery barrage incoming. Allied troops launching an assault on objective Charlie 2. They've nowhere else to run. Final push.
Okay, yeah, it is fucking weird that there's a beeping on in this
Allied
section.
troops launching an assault on objective Charlie 1. One objective left. You're almost there.
Strategic beacon ready to deploy.
Roger that. Artillery barrage incoming. Taking objective Charlie 2. The enemy has taken over objective Charlie 2. Capture the last sector. We're going to win this. Roger that. Artillery barrage incoming.
Strategic beacon ready to deploy.
Objective Charlie 2 is ours. This is their last stand. Take the sector. Victory in sight. They can't hold much longer. Roger that. Artillery barrage incoming.
But hey, someone has already modded that gun. Let's see how this will work out when we sit on it.
Quiet! I'll fix you up in no time.
We neutralized objective Charlie 1.
I'm found!
We've sustained heavy losses, but we must push forward. Objective Charlie 1 is ours. Buck up. Roger that. Artillery barrage incoming. Beacon deployed.
Get up and fight back!
Strategic beacon ready to deploy.
Strategic beacon deployed. The enemy has taken over objective Charlie 1. Smoke screen incoming. This is their last stand. Take the sector. One objective left. You're almost there. Roger that. Artillery barrage incoming.
Smoke barrage ready.
Someone turn around. Hey.
We've neutralized objective Charlie 2. Prepare for the enemy counter.
Strategic beacon ready to deploy.
We have an urgent situation. Take this sector now. The enemy has captured objective Charlie 1. We have to recapture it. Objective Charlie 2 is ours. Buck up. This is their last line of defense. This is their last line. Take the sector.
Quiet! I'll fix you up in no time. Not today!
Medic train is real. Oh, as always.
Let's get a jolt in our
Strategic
range!
beacon ready to deploy.
Enemy fire! Requesting beacon here! Over!
Neutralize objective Charlie 1. Prepare for the enemy counter. Roger that. Artillery barrage incoming. Objective Charlie 1 is ours. Buck up. The enemy has taken objective Charlie 2.
Thank you! I mean it! Stop complaining!
Victory in sight. They can't hold much longer.
I know, that's done. Oh, hey! In the top 25% of my team. That's good. Yeah. Close quarters map and... Close quarters map with, how's it called? A medic. That's the medic train. I mean, I could have maybe saved the barrage, but eh. It's always like, do you want the barrage or do you want the rocket strike? Who knows? Will you get to the rocket strike? I could have probably gotten to it, but yeah. Yeah. Okay, now the question is, should I just start signing off the armaments? Good. Technically. We have here the LMG, there's a sniper. Could be one of them. Who knows? Oh, you know what, I save up first. Okay, so that was it, and I guess oh, that's new. A new type bolt, you say? This one gives more fire rate down, but no, that one will be in there at the end. I can almost guarantee you that. A short one, but more control. Longer one with more control, but also you get new slots, upper patch. Yeah, you will take one of those. Infiltrator with a suppressor thing. So there will be. Yeah, this one is the one you will take 100%. Yes, let's take that, please. Standard mag not there yet. Let me take that. It's interesting that they are all called new type. That's not a Gundam crossover yet. It's not yet that. So, not gonna do that one because too much control loss. So, yeah, it was a bit of that was a little bit of Delta Force today. It's more stuff. I wouldn't say it's bad stuff. I'd say they still, you know, do so. It's solid work, you know, catching up to what the game is in China. But also, it's not that much. It's 2 more maps, so now they have 7 maps. That's 1 less than the launch maps from Battlefield 2042. Yeah. I'd say they're solid. Again, the big part this game has is you can do a lot with the gun customization. That is literally what keeps this game going. But like, as you will see in comparison on Tuesday, it's just 1 main battle tank, 1 IFV. Just it is the most baseline vehicle setup you can think of. And now we will get jets this time. I think this season or so, which, you know what? Fine. Oh. Okay. That's new. I guess I will play a bit more Recon then, going forward. Shotgun speed low. What the hell? Where's that coming from? All of a sudden. I definitely had though. I guess I put that in because, oh well, a bit more Recon stuff. Yeah, Delta Force. It's still lagging behind because the more you steal from another game, you will end up with a solid game, you know. But the big problem is, what are you going to do with the stuff that you're stealing? Because if you're just making a game, you know, oh, you know, we need tanks and such, and so like, let's just steal the baseline setup, you know, basically just the American vehicle selection, and not even all of them. Let's steal all the characters from basically Battlefield and Valorant at this point, and some from Call of Duty, but yeah. It's a good game, and I will keep playing it, and I think I can say we could make a deal coming back, because right now, as I said, they only let you play Knife Edge, and in 7 days there is probably other new map. So what that? Gonna keep playing a bit, unlock, you know, the new operator, use some of the new guns and such, and then in like over a week or so we can get back to this game and I can show the other part of this update. But like, yeah, Delta Force. I think that's the problem. The more your game is, here are new additions that is just more of the same with some, you know, solid additions, but not much. See, that's what I mean. I said before. You can steal a good mechanic, notice it's a good mechanic, but then if you're not doing stuff with those mechanics, your game ultimately will be solid, but nothing that will really stay in the mind. The biggest part I like, as I said, is the fact you can make really fucking cursed guns with in this game. I genuinely really like that, because hey, look at my Vector, it's a lot longer now. Look at my MP5. That's also kind of a, yeah, that's a thing now. It's a bit cursed. Look at this P90. Yes, technically cursed, but also like, you know, has something doing that, right? There's something to that. There's something to making an angled grip onto an old car 15, because why not? Why not do that? Like, can I do patches? Yes. It's not even where I grip, and I still put on the grip patches. just for the extra, just because I can. Just because this thing just has to be even more cursed. That's just fun, you know? That's just fun doing that. This is the best part about the game. I don't know how well balanced it is, but it's fun doing that, and I kind of wish I can. I do hope they, the next Battlefield title has that as well. And considering how much they want to make the vehicles more asymmetrical, wouldn't surprise me if the gun selection would also start being a bit more weird there. Yeah, that's it. You steal the fortification system in the most basic way. Cool. You iron out some problems in your maps. That's good. But it's not really something where like, holy shit, this makes as I said, put up some sand walls for for a bit of, rebuildable cover destruction dynamic. That's neat. It's not really much how the game is changed, being played. Like, it's something. Meanwhile, again, where it stole from, you could do so much with that. On the other hand, there's a reason why a lot of people hoped we get the LIV from Battlefield 3 as the Vault as the Vault IFV, because people are clamoring for fucking beach landing. And as much as people kept saying in Battlefield, oh, beach landings were not always the best, I keep reminding people, the stuff that revived Battlefield 5 was the Pacific expansion. People really dug storming beaches. Because once again, it recontextualizes the game. You can have all those vehicles. Okay? But at some point it gets a bit meaningless. If you know what I mean. You have a tank. You have an IFV. It's fine. But like this is just a bit like the faster tank with less armor, and this is the one that attacks air vehicles. There's not a lot of why is it how it is? Why should I take the even faster tank this time? And that's why, even though there's only one beach landing right now in 2042, and it's a remake, it's a portal map, and not that good right now, but we will see how that changes. That's why people hope for that. Because suddenly you could say, oh, this one is amphibious. See what I mean with you do something with it? Giving some maps amphibious areas, giving them a beach landing, recontextualizes what kind of vehicles you can use in that situation. It creates a new feeling. It creates a whole new way of how the game is being played. And that's cool. And that's what this game is missing. Because right now it's mostly just copying from games that came before. Similarly, if you only have one type of vehicle, yes, it fills the role, it supplements the gameplay, that's perfectly fine, but it's also boring. And as you can see, we'll see on Tuesday, hey, having mirrored vehicles that are very, very different from each other, that's flavor. That's cool. That's why I kind of hope the next title will have more than one faction, because pitching American versus Russian vehicle, that's neat. Give me a fucking modern French faction video games. What is wrong with you? What, like, oh, it's like, is there a European army? Like, here's the thing. You could make at least 2 European armies in terms of, you know, just vehicle selection. Let's not only talk about the fact that, you know, we're one of the prime creators of weaponry. Like, we have a whole range of weapons here, but still. You could make 2. Again, the French basically cover all of this. Like, this is a French vehicle, by the way. This is based on a French vehicle, which is basically just a continuation of their troll design. Hello, Warner players. Remember how you can just put wheeled tanks into a forest? And then just be like, haha, your tanks are no more. But yeah, you can make a French army on those alone. You can make a mixture of, you know, Nordic / Central European ones. Like, there's a lot of, you know, there's like the Leopard 2, there's the, you know, the Boxer, you know, a lot of base stuff built by Germans. Then you just throw in like Swedish aircraft, for example. You can mix those together. You can make like a Northern European army. You can make those factions if you want to. I want more variation in that. And I really hope the next title actually delivers on that instead of just being like, basically close mirrors. No. Double down on the uniqueness. Because right now I'm playing Delta Force because I played Battlefield 2042 to death and there's not much going on anymore. But I truly hope the next title is actually doubling down on asymmetry, because asymmetry, that actually, you know, pull off right, that gives a game longevity. There are a lot of people still playing Battlefield 5 right now. Battlefield 5, that was not really the best game. But it was asymmetrical. So it really, you know, every round, it was different depending on which side you were on. It was a unique feeling, and that was cool. So yeah, see you all tomorrow for more Portal 2. We're starting Portal 2. How about that? And then on Tuesday, you know, we're gonna play the new tanks. I'm gonna do tank maining, you know, not the Marvel Rivals type. It's gonna be the real tank maining. And see you then. Yeah, this was Delta Force. Hope you had fun. We'll probably be back in a few weeks, and just looking at all the, you know, the other stuff of this update. And let's see then. Have a good night. Have a good Sunday ahead of you. God damn it! You're really swinging in at the fucking end, Gossip Girl. Yeah, I made a joke, as in I'm going to stream being a tank main on Tuesday because there are new tanks being added to Battlefield. You know, real tanks, the vroom vroom boom boom tanks. But also keep an eye on the Discord, community Discord, if you want. We probably might. I will ask around if people want to do another community weekend on Friday, because, you know, Wiki 3 probably won't happen. So if I will feel out like, hey, who wants to do a 6-player group in Marvel Rivals again? There's a new season, we can do that. No. That again, as I said, it was a good laugh though. So yeah, if you're interested, maybe next Friday, Marvel Rivals community evening. So you could join that if you want to. We just need to get people together, and if we're enough, we just play that. So yeah, keep an eye on the Discord for that. So yeah, see you all tomorrow for some Portal 2, and have a good weekend ahead of you. I will get some pizza now because I'm very hungry. Bye!